So in this video, we're going to be discussing two very interesting topics that are making the rounds in the world of football, especially for Arsenal fans. One of them, it's about Gabriel Magalhães, the Arsenal solid defender, who happens to be one of Arsenal's set-piece specialists, gets the goals every time. And what happened? He just sustained an injury in the Brazil versus Senegal fixture. Coincidentally, that game happened at the Emirates Stadium. And Arsenal fans are outraged. Why is he playing a friendly match? It doesn't make any sense. Brazil are very qualified for the World Cup. Why are we risking him? Whose fault is it? Is it Arteta? Is it him? Or is someone just careless right down there? So we're going to be looking into that very quickly. And also, we're going to be talking about Miles Lewis-Skelly and what's going on with his his English call-ups. What's going on? He was not called off for the last friendlies, that played the last weekend. And Thomas Tuchel is basically saying, hey, you're not getting enough game time at Arsenal and you might be overlooked. There's also a risk you might not be going to the World Cup if the trends continue. So let's unpack all of this stuff. Don't forget to leave a like on the video to give it some reach. Thank you very much. And also subscribe to the channel. So let's jump right into it. So now, Gabriel Magalhães. He was called off for Brazil and he didn't have to travel. So that was good. And then everybody's getting on his back, like, what's going on? Why did Mikel Arteta allow this to happen? We are going into a very difficult run of fixtures against Spurs, Bayern Munich, and Chelsea, and the rest of them. We can't afford to be without our best players. What's my take? It could have happened to anybody. We could have heard in the game England played that somebody like Saka or Rice or even Eze sustained an injury, and everybody will still be saying what we're saying right now. He had a long-term injury last season, just like Saka, so anything could have happened. We know injury. Every player is prone to injury. Even Saliba could have sustained an injury. Thankfully, it didn't happen again from the French game. So I mean, it can happen to anybody. The fact that he didn't have to travel meant, the wear and tear on his in the last 2 weeks will have been more. But I mean, it happened, and so that means he misses the next friendly match that Brazil have on Tuesday. Also, there's a risk he's not going to make the Spurs game. So that's a concern for us. What does that mean? Pierre Hincapié is a natural left-sided centre back. He can do the job. I believe he can. It will be up to Mikel Arteta to decide how he plugs that hole, at least for the Spurs game. I'm not too sure he's going to miss the Spurs game yet, by the way. The diagnosis has not been complete to determine how long he's going to be out injured. We hope it's even something that he can jump back in immediately. Fingers crossed. But even if that does not happen, we have Mosquera, we have Hincapié, a few other options around there. Thankfully, also Calafiori, who sustained an injury also on international break, I think he will be fit for this first game from what we've heard. So fingers crossed. Let's hope that happens. So I think Arsenal have a solid 11 to face and defeat Spurs. By the way, we can still defeat Spurs. So let's all hopes not be lost. I don't think it's time to trade blames. We can't be too careful with our players. I mean, these international breaks, personally, I hate them, to be honest with you. But they are there, and we're also happy that our players are also playing internationally. I personally would be happy if Miles Lewis-Skelly was called up to the national team and he got some game time, even because he's not even playing so much for Arsenal. At least as of now, that he's not the preferred candidate when compared to Calafiori. So that's our next topic. So now that I'm talking about that already, let's jump into the next one. So Miles Lewis-Skelly, what's going on with him? He's 19 years old. He's young, right? I don't know why he should be panicking, to be honest with you. We've heard that, since Thomas Tuchel told him he's not called up this time and there's a risk he might also be in the World Cup squad if he does not play regularly. Then there's all this talk about some clubs in the Premier League, circling to see if they can, sign him, even if it's for 6 months on loan. I don't think that's necessary. I personally don't also think Mikel Arteta will sanction that, because we're going to have a long season. We have the FA Cup, the Premier League, the Champions League, the League Cup, and I think Arsenal want to go for every single possible trophy. So this is not the time to have a conversation around if we can, afford to send him on loan. That's not happening. He needs to stay focused. In my opinion, even if he doesn't even make the World Cup team, that's the worst case. It's not the end of the world. There's still going to be, the Euros coming up in 2 years or so, and there's a lot more football for him to play. His focus should be to cement his place in the Arsenal team, get first team football for Arsenal. He's going to do it the way I see it, because right now there's also talk about him potentially being a defensive midfielder for Arsenal. He has the potential. Even if he stays at left back, he can be. Arsenal will always need at least 2 solid left backs at any given time. So he will get his time. Calafiori will be rotated. I even think he's the preferred candidate these days for Champions League football. He's doing well as well. So there's no reason to panic. I believe that between even now and the end of the season, he will have gotten sufficient game time. And fingers crossed, Thomas Tuchel will still see him as a good candidate to be in the squad for the World Cup. So Let me know your thoughts on these two issues. Do you think Arsenal are good to go without Gabriel, and who is going to replace him? Should it be Hincapié or should it be Mosquera? Do we put all our faith in Mosquera, Saliba, or Hincapié, Saliba? What are we doing there? And then also for Miles Lewis-Skelly, is it time to take a loan move and go get first in football, or should he stay focused in Arsenal and knuckle down and see how he does between now and the end of the season? I think he'll be fine in my opinion though. But let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. And I'll see you on the next one.